everyone, and thanks for coming out and braving the torrential downpour to make it out here. We appreciate it very much, and welcome to the 2024 installation of our officers. I'd like to introduce our installing officer, Right Worshipful Howard Knapp.
Thank you, Worshipful Master. Pleasure to be here this evening. Again, welcome to the 74th annual installation of officers for Gulf Beach Lodge. I would like to start by having all past masters of this lodge please rise. If we have any past masters, please rise to be recognized. And starting with the most senior past master here this evening, Worshipful Mark, if you...
Yeah, Mark Nicely, Gulf Beach Lodge, 291, 1988.
Thank you, Worshipful Mark. I think I'm next in line. 1996, I was master of Gulf Beach Lodge. I think the thing goes to Right Worshipful.
Stuart O'Neill, past master in 2005.
Okay.
Mark Savashostak, past master in 2021.
Steve Johnson, past master Gulf Beach Lodge in 2022.
And Joe Sosa,
Almost.
almost past master, let's see, 2023.
Join me in welcoming these past masters. I would like at this time to introduce the installation team this evening and start out with saying that we're keeping two of our installing officers in our prayers. Both of them had come down with COVID and they were not able to be here today. So joining me with the installation is the installing marshal, Worshipful Mark Savashostak, and installing chaplain, Worshipful Stephen Johnson. We do not have an installing musician because he is one of the ones, Joe Finocchiaro, with COVID, and Worshipful Oscar Salazar was supposed to have been the installing chaplain. So join me in welcoming the installation team. Brother Installing Marshal, you will conduct the 2024 officers elected and appointed into the lodge room. Please rise. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. The date was May 8th, 1950. The location was in a crowded lodge room on the sandy corner of 38th Street and 19th Avenue South in St. Petersburg, the home of Sunshine Masonic Temple. This was a balmy Monday evening with temperatures in the upper 70s, which made it necessary to have the windows open for cross ventilation. The Grand Master of Masons of the state of Florida, Most Worshipful Gus Deckel, and his Grand Line were sitting in the officer chairs for the purpose of installing the first officers of Gulf Beach Lodge number 291 and Sunshine Lodge number 288 in ample form. Brother Carl Schaefer was installed as the first Worshipful Master of Gulf Beach Lodge number 291 and was handed the torch of Masonic light by the Most Worshipful Grand Master. This torch will be passed down for the 74th time this morning. For more than 7 decades, the torch of Masonic light has been carried by the master and officers of this lodge. lives and bad, through conflicts and cold wars, through presidential assassinations and walks on the moon, through civil unrest and falls of communism. Through it all, the torch has been passed, and our lodge continues to spread brotherly love, relief, and truth. Today, the torch is again passed from one master to another, and so our fraternity will continue unimpaired through a succession of ages. Freemasonry is a moral institution established by virtuous men with the praiseworthy design of recalling to our remembrance the most sublime truths in the midst of innocent and social pleasures. Founded on liberality, brotherly love, and charity, it is a beautiful system of morality, veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols. Truth is its center, the point where the radii diverge, and directs its disciples to a correct knowledge of the great architect of the universe and the moral laws he has ordained for their government. In their nature, they are simple. In their end, moral and instructive. They naturally incite a high degree of curiosity and create an earnest desire to investigate their meanings and to become acquainted with their object of design. Therefore, brethren and friends here assembled, be it known to you that we are lawful Masons, true and faithful to the laws of our country, and engaged by solemn obligations to be serviceable to our brethren and to all mankind, and to fear God, the great architect of the universe. We have among us, concealed from the eyes of all men, not members of the order, secrets which cannot be divulged and which have never been found out. But these secrets are lawful and honorable, and are not repugnant to the laws of God or man. They were entrusted in peace and honor to the Masons of ancient times, and have been faithfully transmitted to us. It is our duty to convey them unimpaired to the latest posterity. Unless our craft were good and our calling honorable, we should not have lasted so many centuries, nor should we have been honored with the patronage of so many illustrious men in all ages who have shown themselves ready to promote our interests and to defend us from all adversaries. How many pleasing considerations, my friends and brethren, attend this present occasion. While in almost every other association of men, political animosities, contentions, and war interrupt the progress of humanity and the cause of benevolence, it is our distinguished privilege to dwell together in peace and engage in plans to promote individual and social happiness. While in many other nations our order is viewed by politicians with suspicion and by the ignorant with apprehension, in this country its members are too much respected and its principles too well known to make it the object of jealousy or distrust. Our private assemblies are unmolested. Our public celebrations attract a more general approbation of the fraternity. Indeed, its importance, its credit, and we trust its usefulness are advancing to a height unknown in any former age. The present occasion gives fresh evidence of the increasing affection of its friends. And this noble establishment, fitted up in a style of such elegance and convenience, does honor to Freemasonry, as well as reflects the highest credit on Gulf Beach Lodge, for whose accommodation it has been erected. As we enter Freemasonry, we are taught that before entering upon any great or important undertaking, we should first ask the blessing of deity. This installation is one of our very great and important undertakings. Please rise. For the installing chaplain, lead us in prayer.
Eternal source of life and light, we thy servants reverently bow before thee in adoration and praise. As when we first saw the light at our altar, we first implored thy guidance, protection, and aid. So now we seek thee for thy divine blessing and direction. In thy might we are strong. Without thee, in our best and highest estates, we are but frail and feeble beings. Grant, O God, that those who are now about to be invested with the government of this lodge may be endued with the wisdom to instruct their brethren in all their duties. May brotherly love, belief, and truth always prevail among the members of this lodge, and may this bond of union continue to strengthen all lodges throughout the world. In thee, O God, as in the days of our apprenticeship, do we put our trust. Be thou our guide in the unseen vicissitudes of life before us, and bring us all to see the great light, inaccessible and full of glory, in thy presence, where we shall behold thee with unclouded vision forevermore. Amen.
So may it be.
Please be seated. Brother Marshall, you will present the worshipful master-elect at the altar for installation.
I find him to be of good moral and great skill, true and trusty, and as he is a lover of the fraternity, I doubt not he will discharge the duties of his office with fidelity and with honor.
My brother, previous to your investiture, it is necessary that you should signify your assent to those ancient charges and regulations that point out the duty of a master of a lodge. You agree to be a good man and true and to strictly obey the moral law?
I do.
You agree to be a peaceful citizen and to cheerfully conform to the laws of the country in which you reside?
I do.
You promise not to be concerned with plots and conspiracies against the government, but patiently submit to the law and constituted authorities.
I do.
You agree to pay a proper respect to the civil magistrates, work diligently, live creditably, and act honorably by all men?
I do.
You agree to hold in reverence the original ruler and patrons of the Order of Masonry and their regular successors, supreme and subordinate, according to their stations, and to submit to the awards and resolutions of your brethren and lodge convened in every case consistent with the constitutions of the order?
I do.
You agree to avoid private piques and quarrels and to guard against intemperance and excess?
I do.
You agree to be cautious in your behavior, courteous to your brethren, and faithful to your lodge?
I do.
You promise to respect genuine brethren and to discountenance impostors and all dissenters from the original plan of Masonry?
I do.
You agree to promote the general good of society and to cultivate social virtues and teach the knowledge of the mystic art?
I do.
You promise to pay homage to the Grand Master for the time being and his officers when duly installed, and strictly conform to every edict of the Grand Lodge that is not subversive of the principles and groundwork of Masonry?
I do.
You admit that it is not in the power of any man or body of men to make innovations in the body of Masonry?
I do.
You promise a regular attendance on the committees and communications of Grand Lodge upon receiving proper notice, and to pay attention to all the duties of Masonry on convenient occasions?
I do.
You admit that no new lodge shall be formed without the permission of the Grand Lodge, and that no countenance be given to any irregular lodge or person clandestinely initiated therein, being contrary to the ancient charges of the order?
I do.
You admit that no person can be regularly made a Mason in or admitted a member of any regular lodge without due notice and due inquiry into his character?
I do.
You agree that no visitors will be received into your lodge without due examination and providing proper vouchers of his being initiated into a regular lodge?
I do.
These are the regulations of free and accepted Masons. Do you submit to these charges and promise to support these regulations as masters have done in all ages before you?
I do.
Brother Burkett, in consequence of your conformity to the charges and regulations of the order, you are now to be installed master of this lodge in full confidence of your care, skill, and capacity to govern the same. You will now be invested with the insignia of your office. Now receive in charge the furniture and implements of your lodge. The holy writings, that great light in Masonry, will guide you to all truth, point your path to the temple of happiness, and point out to you the whole duty of man. The square. The square teaches us to regulate our actions by rule and line, and to harmonize our conduct by the principles of morality and virtue. The compasses. The compasses teaches us to limit our desires in every station, to press forward in the path of virtue, and leading our thoughts to eternity. The rule. should punctually observe our duty. Press forward in the path of virtue and neither inclining to the right nor to the left, and all of our actions have eternity in view. The line. The line teaches us the criterion of moral rectitude, to avoid dissimulation in conversation and action, and directs our steps to the path which leads to immortality. The Book of Constitutions. The Book of Constitutions you are to search at all times. Cause it to be read in your lodge, that none may pretend ignorance of the excellent precepts it enjoins. You will now receive in charge the charter, by the authority of which this lodge is held. You are carefully to preserve, and in no case is it ever to be out of your immediate control, and duly transmitted to your successor in office. You will also receive in charge the digest of Masonic law and the bylaws of your lodge, which you are to see carefully and punctually execute. Brother Marshall, you will conduct the worship of the Master to the east. Worshipful Master, behold your brethren. Brethren, look to the east, and behold your worshipful Master. Brother Marshall, you will present the senior warden-elect at the altar for installation.
Worship Master, I present worthy brother Christopher Scott Buck to be installed senior warden of this lodge.
Brother Owens, you have been elected senior warden of this lodge and are now invested with the insignia of your office. The level demonstrates that we are descended from the same stock, partake of the same nature, and share the same hope. And though distinctions among men are necessary for the preservation of subordination, yet no eminence and station should make us forget that we are brethren. He who is placed on the lowest spoke of fortune's wheel may be entitled to our regard, because a time will come, and the wisest knows not how soon, that all distinction but that of goodness shall cease, and death, the grand leveler of human greatness, reduces us to the same state. Your regular attendance at our stated communications is essentially necessary. In the absence of the Master, you are to govern this lodge. In his presence, you are to assist him in the government of it. I firmly rely on your knowledge of masonry and attachment to the lodge for the faithful discharge of this important trust. Look well to the west. The marshal will now conduct you to your station in the lodge. Brother Marshall, you will present the junior warden-elect at the altar for installation.
Worship Master, I present worthy brother Timothy Patrick Delaney to be installed junior warden of this lodge.
Brother Delaney, you have been elected junior warden of this lodge and are now invested with the badge of your office. encourages us to walk uprightly in our several stations, to hold the scales of justice in equal poise, to observe the just medium between intemperance and pleasure, and to make our passions coincide with the line of our duty. To you is committed the superintendence of the craft during the hours of refreshment. It is therefore indispensably necessary that you should not only be temperate and discreet in the indulgence of your own inclinations, but carefully observe that none of the craft be suffered to convert the hours of refreshment into intemperance and excess. Your early and regular attendance at our meetings is particularly requested. I have no doubt that you will faithfully discharge the duty you owe your present election. Look well to the south. The marshal will now conduct you to your station in the lodge. Our lodge treasurer, myself, and secretary, Steve Johnson, and our lodge musician, Cozy DeRosa, and lodge tiler, Richard Hightower, have been previously installed and will not be reinstalled this morning. Brother Marshal, you will present the marshal appointed at the altar for installation.
Worshipful Master, I present worthy brother Albert Wade Yoder to be installed marshal of this lodge.
Brother Yoder, you have been installed marshal of this lodge and are now invested with the badge of your office. Your duty requires energy, activity, and quickness of perception. The good order of the lodge during its regular processions and assemblies depends upon your care, skill, and assiduity. Possessing these qualifications, you have been appointed to this office. You should always be near at hand to execute the orders of the worshipful master. The marshal will now conduct you to your place in the lodge. Marshal, you will present the chaplain appointed at the altar for installation.
Worshipful Master, I present worthy brother William Russell Russ Wood to be installed chaplain of this lodge.
Brother Wood, you have been appointed chaplain of this lodge and are now invested with the badge of your office. It is your duty to provide those solemn services which we should constantly render to our infinite Creator, which, when offered by one whose holy duty or profession it is to point to heaven and lead the way, may by refining our souls, strengthening our virtues, and purifying our minds, prepare us for admission in that society above, whose happiness is as perfect as it is eternal. The marshal will now conduct you to your place in the lodge. Brother Marshal, you will present the senior and junior deacons appointed at the altar for installation.
Worshipful Master, I present worthy brothers Zachary Allen James Zakowski and David Jonathan Mars to be installed senior and junior deacons of this lodge.
Brothers Zakowski and Mars, you have been appointed deacons of this lodge and are now invested with the badges of your offices. It is your province to attend on the master and wardens and to act as their proxies in the active duties of the lodge, such as in the reception of candidates into the different degrees of Freemasonry, the introduction and accommodation of visitors, and the immediate practice of our rites. The square and compasses with a representation of the sun is the badge of the senior deacon. The square and compasses with a representation of the moon is the badge of the junior deacon. These badges of your offices I entrust to your care, not doubting your vigilance and attention. The marshal will now conduct you to your places in the lodge. Brother Marshal, you will present the senior steward appointed at the altar for installation. Our junior steward appointed, Brother Brian Marshall, will be installed at a future date.
Worshipful Master, I present worthy brother James Frederick Tizano Jr. to be installed senior steward of this lodge.
Brother Tizano, you have been appointed senior steward of this lodge and are now invested with the badge of your office. You are to assist the deacons and other officers in the discharge of their respective duties. Your regular and early attendance at our meetings will afford the best proof of your zeal and attachment to the lodge. The marshal will now conduct you to your place in the lodge. Brother Marshal, you will present the conductor appointed at the altar for installation.
Worshipful Master, I present worthy brothers Charles Byrne Chip Cahill to be installed conductor of this lodge.
Brother Cahill, you have been appointed conductor of this lodge and are now invested with the badge of your office. To assist the stewards and other officers in the discharge of their respective duties. Your early attendance at our meetings will afford the best proof of your attachment to the lodge. The marshal will now conduct you to your place in the lodge. Worshipful Master, the Grand Lodge, having committed to your care the superintendence and government of the brethren who compose this lodge, you cannot be insensible of the obligations that devolve on you as their head, nor of your responsibility for the faithful discharge of the important duties annexed to your election. The honor, reputation, and usefulness of your lodge will materially depend upon the skill and assiduity with which you manage its concerns, while the happiness of its members will be generally promoted in proportion with the zeal and ability with which you propagate the genuine principles of our institution. For a pattern of imitation, consider that great luminary of nature which, rising in the east, regularly diffuses light and luster to all within the circle. It is your province to spread and communicate light and instruction to the brethren of your lodge. Seriously admonish them never to disgrace it. Charge them to practice out of the lodge those duties they have been taught in it, and by amiable, virtual, and discreet conduct, convince mankind of the goodness of our institution, so that when a person is said to be a member of it, the world may know that he is one to whom the burdened heart may pour out its sorrows, whose hand is guided by justice, and whose heart is expanded by benevolence. In short, by a diligent observance of the bylaws of your lodge, the constitutions of masonry, and above all the holy scriptures which are given as the rule and guide to your faith, you will be enabled to acquit yourself with honor and reputation, and lay up a crown of rejoicing which will continue when time shall be no more. Brothers senior and junior wardens, you are too well acquainted with the principles of masonry to warrant any distrust that you'll be found wanting in the discharge of your respective duties. Suffice it to say that what you have seen praiseworthy in others you should carefully imitate, and what in them may have appeared to be defective you should in yourselves amend. You should be examples of good order and regularity, for it is only by a due regard to the laws in your own conduct that you can expect obedience to them from others. You are diligently to assist the master in the discharge of his trust, diffusing light and imparting knowledge to all whom he shall place under your care. In the absence of the master, you are to succeed to higher duties. Your appointment requirements must therefore be such as that the craft be not suffered for the want of proper instruction. From this spirit you have previously shown, I entertain no doubt that your future conduct will be such as to merit the applause of your brethren and the testimony of a good conscience. Would all the members of Gulf Beach Lodge please rise? Brethren, such is the nature of our Constitution that as some must of necessity rule and teach, so others must of course learn to submit and obey. Humility in both is an essential duty. The officers who are elected and or appointed to govern your lodge are sufficiently conversant with the rules of propriety and the laws of our institution to avoid exceeding the power with which they have been entrusted, and you are too generous dispositions to envy their preferment. I therefore trust that you will have but one aim, to be happy and communicate happiness. Finally, as this association has been formed and perfected in so much union and harmony, in which we greatly rejoice, so may it long continue. May you long enjoy every satisfaction and delight which disinterested friendship can afford. May brotherly love and affection distinguish you as men and as Masons. Within these peaceful walls, may your children's children celebrate with joy and gratitude the annual occurrence of this inspiring occasion. And may the tenets of our profession be transmitted through this lodge, pure and unimpaired, from generation to generation. Would all please rise? Brother Marshall, you will make the proclamation in the south, west, and east.
In the name of the most worshipful Grand Lodge of Masons of Florida, I proclaim the officers of Gulf Beach Lodge number 291, free and accepted Masons, legally and duly installed. In the name of the most worshipful Grand Lodge of Masons of Florida, I proclaim the officers of Gulf Beach Lodge number 291, free and accepted Masons, legally and duly installed. In the name of the most worshipful Grand Lodge of Masons of Florida, I proclaim the officers of Gulf Beach Lodge number 291, free and accepted Masons, legally and duly installed.
Brother Chaplain, you will now pronounce the benediction.
Almighty and everlasting God, from whom cometh every good and perfect gift, send down upon thy servants here assembled the helpful spirit of thy grace, that they may truly please thee in all their doings. Grant, O Lord, power of mind and great understanding into those whom we have this day clothed, and to preside over and direct the affairs of this lodge, and so replenish them with the truth, thy doctrine, and adorn them with humility of life, that both by word and good example, they may faithfully serve thee, to the glory of thy holy name, and to the advancement for all good purposes of our beloved institution. Amen.
So mote it be.
Please be seated. Worshipful Master, my pleasure to present to you the gavel of authority. Sure, that's water.
Bear with me here a second while I get my information out. First, I'd like to thank all the installing officers. Everybody did a fantastic job today. Thank you very much. And also thank you for everybody coming out. I have to admit, I got more emotional than I thought. Been a thought I would. So please bear with me.
Worshipful Master, I have the distinct pleasure of presenting you
There we go.
Don't worry about it.
10 minutes out, he's already tearing it up.
Nothing to see here.
I have the distinct pleasure of presenting you with the Master's Gavel, which is from Worshipful, in memory of Worshipful Joe Gribbin, past master in 1989. And I have the pleasure of presenting you with the Worshipful Master's Pin, which hopefully I'll try not to stab you with.
Thank you,
Congratulations,
Worshipful.
Worshipful Master.
Okay. This time, Worshipful Sosa, you sat down a little bit prematurely. Stand up again. I'm proud to present you your past master's apron. If I can find it. Well, you can find it. There's the back.
I'll find it. Don't worry.
Did you size it beforehand, I hope?
Hopefully. Thank you very much.
Again, congratulations.
Thank you, Worshipful.
Fantastic year. Worshipful Steve Johnson, I believe you have a presentation for Worshipful Sosa.
Worshipful Master, I believe I do. Also back there. Worshipful Sosa. What I have for you is a beautiful past master's pin. And Worshipful, I think everybody here would agree that you had an excellent year, you did a great job. It's a year you should be proud of. Certainly over the past few years, I've seen a lot of growth in you as well. And so I'm very, very proud to present this to you. I will pin this to your pocket so there's slightly less risk of failing you.
Just slightly.
Anything possible. There we go. Congratulations, Worshipful.
Thank you, Worshipful.
Oh, can't escape.
I need to see what you got.
All right.
Show off.
There we go.
There we go.
Awesome. Thank you, Worshipful Master.
Thank you very much.
It does, oh, that's right, it's you.
This time, I would like to have all of the installation officers meet me on the level in the east, if you would. You did a great job. Token of my appreciation for the effort and time put into this. Howard, it was fantastic installation, all out of memory, and really kudos to you. Same with you, Worshipful Mark. And I appreciate you stepping in for last minute. It was, I know,
Happy to do it.
yeah, well, appreciate it very much. And the token of that, I'd like to present each of you a small gift. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Worshipful Master.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, you can return to your places. Actually, you guys are probably going to have to get up again. I would like all of the 2024 officers to meet me on the level in the east. Yeah, well, take a curve and I want to thank all of my officers for stepping up and contributing to this slide. I know you're going to be a great team. I have confidence in each and every one of you. In token of my appreciation, I'd like to present each of you with a coin. It has on it printed time, patience, and perseverance. Because by time, patience, and perseverance, all things by us may be attainable. You can all return to your places. Okay. This time I'd like to recognize, if any are present, any of the appendant bodies, and as I call them out, if you would stand and be recognized. Do we have any members of the Shriners present? Okay. Thank you. Do we have any? Do we have any members of York Rite? Any members of the Scottish Rite? Order of the Eastern Star. By the way, I want to mention the Order of the Eastern Star prepared all of our refreshments today. Great thanks to them. Okay. At this time, I'm going to give you my installation address. Bear with me, I have to read it. I didn't memorize like Howard did. And I may get emotional during this, so bear with me. I am deeply honored and grateful for the trust and confidence that my fellow members of Gulf Beach Lodge have placed in me by electing me as their worshipful master. It is a privilege to serve this lodge, and I am committed to upholding the principles and values that have guided our lodge for so many years. I'm excited to work with each and every member to continue to strengthen our bonds of brotherhood and to promote the ideals of Freemasonry in our community. Together we can accomplish great things and make a positive impact on the lives of those around us. Thank you again for this incredible opportunity, and I look forward to the journey ahead. I must say that I am immensely grateful to be surrounded by a group of dedicated and proficient brothers in the officer line. Their unwavering commitment to excellence and their proficiency in their respective roles will not only elevate the collective capabilities of our team, but also create a strong foundation for success. I feel confident that the collaboration and synergy within our group will foster an environment of mutual support and shared goals. Each member's unique skills and dedication will contribute to the overall effectiveness of our team, and I feel fortunate to be part of a cohesive unit that strives for excellence in all endeavors. Together we will navigate challenges, celebrate victories, and continuously inspire one another to reach new heights. The camaraderie and shared commitment among this exceptional group of individuals will surely make our journey both fulfilling and enriching. As a worship master of Gulf Beach Lodge, my mission is to uphold the principles of Freemasonry and to foster an environment of brotherhood compassion, and personal growth within our lodge. I pledge to lead with integrity, humility, and respect for all members. I will do my best to ensure that our lodge is a welcoming environment where all feel valued and supported. I will strive to promote excellence in ritual, education, and community service, and to inspire our members to embrace the teachings of Freemasonry in their daily lives. Above all, I will uphold the traditions and values of our lodge, and to serve as a faithful custodian of its legacy for generations to come. Freemasonry is a fraternity that has been around for centuries, and its principles and teachings have stood the test of time. However, in today's fast-paced, high-tech world, it can be challenging not only to gain new membership to the lodge, but also to keep the existing membership of the lodge interested and engaged in Freemasonry. One of the most important ways to keep members interested in Freemasonry is to regularly communicate with them and engage them in lodge activities. This can be achieved through newsletters, emails, social media, and other communication channels. Due to the efforts of some very talented and dedicated brothers of our lodge, I believe our lodge has accomplished these tasks to the highest level, but we will continue to strive for further improvement. I pledge to encourage members to participate in lodge activities and meetings, provide opportunities for them to take on leadership roles or contribute in meaningful ways, and create a welcoming and inclusive atmosphere that encourages members to connect with each other and build lasting relationships. Together, we can continue to make Gulf Beach Lodge the best and most welcoming lodge within our district. And lastly, but not least, I have to thank my beautiful wife, Karen, for being so supportive of me in my continuation with this lodge. Without her, I could not have accomplished this. Thank you. Now I'd like to take a couple moments just to go over what my planned master's project is. Okay, my master's project is designed to safeguard and improve the overall infrastructure of the lodge, placing an emphasis on critical components, including but not limited to the kitchen and restroom plumbing system, damaged window and door fixtures. The inspection and refurbishment replacement phase of this project will start with an examination not only the interior kitchen and restroom plumbing systems, but also the broader physical infrastructure. This examination is geared towards identifying and addressing any underlying issues such as leaks, clogs, corrosion, rot, or other concerns that could compromise the integrity of the lodge's infrastructure. Some items in need of repair or replacement have already been identified, such as leaking and corroded kitchen and restroom faucets, corroded shutoff valves and drains, as well as dry rot of the door casing at the base of the interior stairs. This phase will prioritize repairs or replacement based on the severity and the age of components, ensuring an efficient and targeted approach to addressing physical infrastructure that may require repair, improvement, or enhancement. Furthermore, the project will delve into the prospect of upgrading to more efficient fixtures, not only to address immediate concerns, but also to contribute to the lodge's long-term objectives. Integration of more efficient fixtures aligns with a broader commitment to potentially reduce operational costs over time. Prior to the implementation of any changes, an evaluation will be conducted to discern whether specific tasks can be managed through a do-it-yourself approach or necessitate professional intervention, ensuring a proper allocation of resources. Concurrently, the project underscores the critical aspects of budgeting, fundraising, and timeline. A budget will be determined encompassing expenses related to materials, labor, permits, and any unforeseen contingencies that may arise during project execution. This plan will include a strategy of the fundraising component to accommodate the necessary financing. Simultaneously, a realistic timeline will be project, factoring in potential delays arising from unforeseen complications. This approach will aid in the project's overall progression, providing an understanding of both financial requirements and time constraints that will ensure minimal impact to the important business of the lodge. The fundraising aspect will be approached with creativity, potentially incorporating events, donation drives, and multimedia campaigns. Fundraising initiatives will be designed to engage and mobilize and support the lodge members and potentially external stakeholders who share a vested interest in the lodge's well-being. In essence, the Masters Project represents a comprehensive strategy to address the lodge's infrastructure needs, blending inspections, upgrades, and planning, which aims not only to resolve immediate concerns, but also pave the way for continued operation within the lodge well into the future. Thank you.
Inasmuch as we now know your master's project, there are brothers out here and friends and supporters who would like to donate to your master's project, and I thought I would let them know that now we have a way of doing that through Zelle. So if there's anybody here this afternoon, almost afternoon, that would like to donate to the master's project, you simply would go onto your Zelle account with our email address that's on this flyer up here, and you can donate to the master's project. Put that please in the memo, and it will go to the appropriate fund to help with your 2024 project.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, well, that pretty much concludes the installation. So at this point, I'd like to ask all non-master masons to please retire. Go down and join the people that are already down there in the dining hall and start inviting on the refreshments. We've got a little bit of business to take care of, but as soon as we get that done, we will be downstairs with you. I would like to ask all master masons who plan on staying in the lodge for the remaining portions of the procedures to remain here. Do not leave the lodge room this time. We want to accomplish this as quickly as possible. We will provide you with aprons, which we already have inside the lodge room. Thank you very much.